everybody, what's going on? Coach William Grazione here, owner of The Educated Dieter, bringing you guys a brand new video talking directly to the individuals out there right now that are just looking for a solid starting point, but they're not sure what to do. In today's video, I'm going to bring you the 5 most valuable things that you need to be able to consider to dramatically transform your life right now. Maybe you're somebody that isn't ready to start tracking their macros and tracking their calories, or lifting weights 5, 6, 7 days a week, or doing cardio all the time, and all the craziness that you're probably seeing here on YouTube. So in today's video, what I hope to do is provide you a very easy to follow list of the most important and impactful things that you can do in your health journey right now. Inside of doing these 5 things, I can guarantee you that it will help many of you get a really good starting point. And for many of you, it will help you build muscle, lose body fat, find peace of mind, reduce your stress, lower your blood sugar, and reduce your blood pressure, as well as a whole host of other things. All right, and the number 1 thing is going to be simply moving your body more. I know it's no surprise that ever since COVID, a lot of people are working at home now. They're working desk jobs. They're constantly in a state of protraction. They're resting their glutes. They're resting their legs all day long, sitting in the comfiest reclining chair that they possibly can while they're doing their Zoom calls. However, the number 1 thing that I'm going to tell you guys you need to start doing more is simply moving your body. Getting up first thing in the morning, going for a 20-minute walk, maybe listening to a podcast, or maybe it's just finding peace in your day before somebody screams mom or before somebody yells dad. Being a father of 4 myself, I can completely understand that, so it's essential that I actually set time to make sure that I'm awake at least 1 hour before anybody else is awake, so I can focus on myself and get the most important things started first thing in the day. If you're somebody that's sitting in a chair a lot, the number 1 thing that I can recommend to you is get more daily movement in. Again, it can be a walk, or it can be something like what I'm doing right now, just going for a ride on my air bike, maybe 5 minutes, 10 minutes. Anything is better than 0. All right, and tip number 2 is going to be simply making sure that you are properly hydrated. Being that our bodies are made up of over 70% water, I think it's extremely valuable that you ensure that you are properly hydrated, because being dehydrated by even as little as 5% can actually have negative physical health side effects. One of those is going to be having bowel problems. So maybe you get constipated, maybe you're having problems going to the bathroom, you're just feeling low energy, your training performance in the gym and the way that you feel doing more endurance style of exercise will be negatively influenced. Now, if you don't know what it feels like to actually be hydrated, maybe you're somebody that's never known what it feels like to be able to drink enough water, I have 2 options for you. Number 1, go get yourself a gallon of water just like this, and within 24 hours, do yourself a favor and just try to drink the whole thing. Or option number 2 is going to be go to the Walgreens or CVS or local corner store, or wherever you're at, get a 32-ounce bottle of Pedialyte, and then drink that and pair it with a ½ gallon of water. And again, if you're somebody that doesn't know what it feels like to be hydrated, I can assure you that it will change your life and you will feel much, much better. And tip number 3 is going to be simply lift weights. Lifting weights for as little as anywhere between 30 and 45 minutes for as little as 3 to 4 days per week can help you dramatically begin to build more muscle, establish a better mind-muscle connection, lose body fat, and for many of you out there right now who may be insulin resistant, it can help you clear up a lot of that circulating extra blood sugar that you may have that's causing you to be insulin resistant. The act of anaerobic exercise, which is essentially anything that requires you to push against force, utilizes glucose as the main energy substrate. So if you happen to be somebody with high blood sugar, the best thing you can do is start lifting weights now. And if you don't have a training program or you don't know where to start, all you have to do is email me, william@theeducateddieter.com, and I will personally send you a free training program today. And the number 4 thing you want to consider is making sure you are consuming enough high quality protein. Now, the protein sources that you're consuming, you want to think animal-based products. Now, I'm very empathetic to those out there that may potentially be vegans. However, there are still going to be essential amino acids that you need to have in your bloodstream to essentially make sure that you can optimize the muscle protein synthetic response of you going to the gym, lifting weights, causing muscular damage, and then coming back home, going into your kitchen and eating a high protein source that will allow you to maximally activate muscle protein synthesis, which will help you jumpstart recovery and start to build more lean body mass. Now, as a general rule of thumb, for those of you out there who are like, well, I don't know where to start. A really easy general rule of thumb where to start is for ladies, I recommend consuming about 4 ounces of animal-based protein, roughly 3 to 4 times per day. And for men, I recommend about 6 ounces of animal-based protein, again, 3 to 4 times per day, and that should give you sufficient amount of protein so you can actually start to build muscle and lose body fat. If you go back to a previous video that I did where I interviewed Dr. Bill Campbell from the University of South Florida, he actually mentioned that individuals that were resistance training and all they did was increase their protein intake actually built more muscle and lost more body fat. So again, if you're somebody just looking for a good place, I don't know where to start, Coach Will, that's where I would recommend is eating more protein. Do you like protein?
Yeah.
All right, what's your favorite protein?
Eggs.
Eggs, good protein source, awesome. All right, and last but definitely not least is going to be making sure you can get really good quality sleep, just like my daughter's doing here in the gym. I know many of you have heard this before, sleep properly. However, how many of you are unintentionally messing up your sleep-wake cycle? How many of you know about the circadian rhythm and the simple fact that your body's supposed to release melatonin at night, which essentially makes you be able to fall asleep, and then release cortisol first thing in the morning, which essentially is supposed to help wake you up. The majority of people are stimulating far beyond where they're supposed to, and that's negatively influencing their body's ability to release melatonin. So therefore, what I would urge many of you to consider is stop consuming caffeine after 12 noon to maybe 2 p.m. at the most, and then also consider making sure that you can start some type of a wind down routine at night. Now, if you're anything like me, obviously, like I just told you, I got 4 kids. One of them's right here because she won't go to bed. But having things like this to do, I think it's important to create some level of structure, right? Have some structure where maybe you're putting your kids to sleep, okay? And then after your kids are asleep, then you have some time to essentially begin to wind yourself down. Maybe that, again, is turning the lights down, not staring at a plasma screen, not shining a bunch of bright lights in your face. Maybe it's going and taking a warm bath to calm yourself down, or reading a book, or maybe you're a journaler and you want to write things down to prepare yourself for tomorrow. Either way, I think having some type of routine is extremely important for allowing you to get a really good night's sleep. Something else you want to consider is that inside of this amazing sleep cycle, this is where your hormones actually recover themselves. It's not during the day, it's when you sleep. And ideally, you would be able to get between 7 or 8 hours of quality sleep per night with about 1.5 to 2 hours of REM sleep per night. Now, if you are somebody that is having trouble falling asleep, maybe you're a woman and for whatever reason you can't get all these different things out of your mind that you have to do, or maybe you're a guy that just overthinks about things, or maybe you're just super stressed out and for whatever reason you can't get to bed. In many cases, this would be a hormonal problem and a nervous system issue. So what I would highly consider is that for those individuals dealing with this is to begin to supplement with magnesium. Helps essentially to turn off the nervous system so that you can actually get restful sleep. Now, if you're somebody that even has issues falling asleep supplementing with magnesium, you may want to consider supplementing with low dose melatonin so that you can actually get into a really good sleep cycle. However, you don't want to become reliant on the melatonin, because then when you eliminate it, it may become hard for you to fall asleep. So I am a big advocate of magnesium and essentially slowing things down, turning lights down, and preparing for a really good night rest.